Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you're building anything in the modern digital economy, you absolutely need to hear this. We're unpacking a piece titled The Threshold of Momentum, Scaling AI Side Hustles. And we're going to uncover a hidden trap. It's the reason so many early-stage AI projects just fizzle out. You know the drill, right? You're putting in the late nights, setting up these incredibly complex automated workflows. Maybe you're paying for like 5 different API subscriptions right now, but you're getting exactly 0 users. It's frustrating. Why do some of these AI ventures take off like literal rocket ships, while others just quietly fade away? Well, the answer is actually hidden in the structure of momentum itself.
Okay, let's dive into this, because there is a really fascinating, almost kind of unsettling question driving our analysis today. Why does your AI side hustle fail if you earn less than an exact, unforgiving financial threshold? Think about that for a second. You might be pouring hours and hours of sweat equity into your generative tools, tweaking parameters, writing code until your eyes cross. But the source material reveals something crazy. Pure effort alone actually isn't enough to prevent failure. There is this invisible trapdoor right beneath your project. And if you don't cross a certain earnings line, the floor simply falls out from under you. No safety net.
The source text identifies this trap very clearly, and they call it the size problem. Now, I want to be super clear here. This isn't some vague, feel-good motivational concept. It's a concrete, almost mathematical economic barrier. The size problem is defined as failing to reach a meaningful output level where compounding kicks in. Think about it structurally. If your custom AI tool only saves you, say, 5 minutes a day, that's linear. Honestly, it's just too small to matter to anyone else. You stay trapped in this really frustrating cycle where your input directly equals your output, and eventually, the energy just runs dry.
So what exactly are we lacking when we get stuck in that trap? It's the missing ingredient, compounding. And this is such a liberating concept because it means the size problem isn't necessarily about you not working hard enough. It's about missing that crucial magical stage where your early efforts begin to naturally multiply without you needing to do manual input every single time. Imagine you're building a specialized GPT for realtors, right? Compounding is that exact moment when one real estate agent's success with your tool leads to 4 word-of-mouth referrals. Without this compounding effect, your side hustle isn't a scalable business. It's really just a highly demanding, completely unpaid internship where you are your own terrible boss.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that divide looks like in practice. When you operate at an unmeaningful output level, your progress is entirely invisible. You are spinning your wheels, you're generating content, building tools, but feeling like you are literally shouting into the void. It's like pushing a massive boulder up a really steep hill. But when you cross over into meaningful output, the entire game shifts. This is the promised land where compounding finally kicks in. The contrast is stark. Suddenly, the boulder effortlessly rolls down the other side as momentum totally takes over.
So, the crucial point is captured perfectly in this quote directly from the text. To survive, you must reach a meaningful output level where compounding kicks in. I just love how direct this is. Hitting this specific output level is the only way to trigger that compounding effect. You cannot bypass it. You cannot cheat the system with some viral shortcut on social media. You have to build a system so undeniably useful that the market just naturally starts sharing it for you. That's what allows the economic laws of momentum to start working in your favor instead of actively working against you.
Which of course brings up the most natural question: how do we actually know when we've crossed that line? How do you measure something as subjective as meaningful? Well, the source material doesn't leave us hanging here. It gives us a very specific target threshold. It's a mathematical target, a precise mile marker that definitively proves you have broken out of that agonizing, invisible progress phase and successfully defeated the size problem. So, what is the exact number that flips the switch? Let's take a look.
Boom, $1,000. That is the target. Earning your first $1,000 in your AI side hustle is the precise turning point according to the text. Now, why 1,000? Because let's be honest, earning a few bucks here or there might just be a fluke, or maybe a favor from a friend who feels bad for you. But $1,000, that requires a repeatable system. It means someone, somewhere, actually swiped a real credit card for your AI generation. It proves you've broken through the endless noise of free AI tools to find genuine, hardcore commercial value. It is the ultimate, undeniable validation that your momentum has crossed the threshold.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because it really happens in 3 distinct phases. Step 1, set the target. You have to explicitly aim for that $1,000 mark. It absolutely has to be your North Star. Step 2, reach $1,000. This is where you get granular. You run those A/B tests on your user interface. You refine your back-end AI prompts, and you pitch directly to highly specific niche communities until you hit that exact number. And then, step 3, momentum becomes visible.
Once you cross that line, it is no longer just a cool idea living in your head. It's a functioning compounding machine. That invisible, painful grind finally transforms into visible, undeniable success.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it puts the mechanical life cycle of a successful AI project in full view. It's all connected. You start by identifying and overcoming the size problem. How? By executing and hitting that $1,000 earnings target. That specific, measurable action is what triggers your compounding momentum. And finally, that compounding effect is what makes your momentum visible, both to you, which keeps you motivated, and to the market, which brings in even more opportunities. Earning this specific amount completely transforms the hustle from a fragile little experiment into a permanent fixture.
Which leaves us with the most important piece of this entire explainer. The theory is crystal clear. The target is set, but what is your immediate next step to hit that visible momentum threshold of $1,000? Seriously, think about the specific AI tools or services you are building right now. What is the very next action you need to take today to move just a little bit closer to that exact target? Don't let your hard work fall victim to the invisible trapdoor of the size problem. Take this framework, set your target, and start compounding. The clock is ticking on your momentum, so make it visible.